Anyone with a booking on WestJet or wanting to make one will be riveted on a conference room in Calgary today. The airline and its pilots are trying to come to terms on a first contract. Any breakdowns in talks and pilots could legally walk out with just 3 days' notice. And Jeannie Lee is here with more on that. So anxious times, I guess, for people with bookings.
And, you know, the clock really starts to tick today, Andrew, and it's because the pilots had said while they were in a legal strike position as early as this past weekend, they didn't want to strike during a peak travel time, which is the long Victoria Day weekend. But now it's over, the weekend is, and so the pilots could give their 72-hour notice any time now. And that means a lot of people with travel plans have those plans up in the air, literally. They spoke with a Calgary woman who has her ticket to Vancouver all booked, and her spot also booked for the Tough Mudder competition that's taking place next month in Vancouver. Have a listen to her predicament.
Well, it would suck to get there and then not be able to get back, or we already have our reservations made, our hotels and everything paid for, so it would be a really big inconvenience if we had to switch and go with Air Canada, but...
Now, social media is full of people venting about this situation. For example, once in a lifetime trip with my mom and 10-year-old set to leave this week, held hostage by the WestJet strike. Can't cancel, lose too much money, can't book tickets, shows or tours in case we can't go. And another tweeter, we ended up rebooking on AC, Air Canada, at our extra cost. The stress and complete lack of information was just not worth it for us. And Mark Garneau, we need better passenger rights. This has been a terrible experience. So Mark Garneau, the Transport Minister, hasn't made a comment about this, but that's no surprise because the fact is the federal government would not step in and intervene until there's actually a labor dispute, a walkout, one that disrupts the economy and people's lives in a very significant way.
And so how are talks going?
They're going, and WestJet is saying this to anyone who's asking. We have not received any notification of labor action, meaning no 72-hour notice yet, and remain actively engaged in negotiations. We will provide additional updates should this change as those details become available. In the meantime, it is business as usual. That's a tweet that it put out in response to one of many people who are wondering, what do I do here, you know? So people just watching this situation and hoping somehow, as it often does in these cases, there's a resolution at the very last minute.